Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hey, this is your host, Panthers Prime Podcast. Hope you guys are doing good, man. Hope you guys are doing amazing out there right now. Frank Reich having press conferences again. Hey, man, it's so funny, man. It's so funny, man. Real quick, let's show some love in the chat. Hey, Poppy, what's up, man? What's going on, Poppy? Elizabeth, how you doing? What's good? Hey, I'm excited about my Carolina Panthers, man. That's what I'm excited about. Ready for them boys to start doing some stuff. You know what I mean? Music drowning you out? Say less. Say less. Yeah, man. There we go. Yeah, man. So Frank Reich had his press conference today. All right. And I'm uploading one more video right now to the stream so that we can go ahead and really dive into this. Guys, to be honest with you, it's pretty comical. I'm going to be honest with you. It's pretty comical what we're seeing right now in Carolina. When it comes down to this whole play calling thing, I'm a person of, I like truth. I love truth, and I don't think that the Carolina Panthers and Frank Reich, for the most part, because this is his press conference, I don't think that he's giving us the truth when it comes down to his true thoughts on this whole play call that wants his. I think Reich wants to save his job. So whatever that's going to take for that to happen, he gonna do it. Let's see. Let's title this first. Yeah, we're gonna throw that on there. I'm gonna take y'all down memory lane real quick. I'm take you down memory lane, and we're gonna pull up some of these videos that Frank Reich posted at his press conference about how ready Thomas Brown was, how ready this offense was, how much he longed for this opportunity to happen for Thomas Brown, where he can go ahead and call the plays and be the primary play caller. Remember, he said that. He said he dreamt of this day. He dreamt of this day that it was going to happen, that he was going to be able to give the play calling over Thomas Brown, right? Well, after 3 starts, it sounds like Frank is trying to backtrack on that. And how unfortunate that is for a rookie quarterback to have to deal with the back and forth. This person calling plays. I was used to Frank, now to get used to Thomas Brown. We had a whole 2 weeks bye week to go ahead and get stuff established. Now there's a possibility. There's a possibility now that Frank will more than likely be calling plays. Play calling. I don't know what is going on. Hey, man, listen, man. Who knows? I thought that as well, PPP. Say he's still looking into the play calling like it's not week 11. Hey, man, it's comical, bro. It's comical. I'm going to be honest with you. It's comical. I think he wants to save everyone else's job, man. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to fathom that, I mean, you went, just like the ticker says, Frank Reich went 0-6 as a play caller for the Carolina Panthers. We lost every single last game that Frank Reich has called. Thomas Brown, and mind you, these were some big losses. Detroit, 42 whatever. Miami Dolphins, 42 to whatever. All right? We didn't really have any close games with Frank. Just think of one close game we've had. You can't think of one close game we've had. So, and like I said, I feel bad for Bryce because as a rookie quarterback, you're trying to get some momentum going, trying to get some things established, mental bank wise or whatever. Establishing a establishing a culture with your OC, you know, and that's about to be ripped right up out of him, man. You know, so I think he wants to take his job back to save Thomas Brown's job because Tepper wants to fire him. And guess what, Poppy? I said that. I said that before the bye week. I said, don't give Thomas Brown the job. Don't say publicly that you can give Thomas Brown the job. And then we still continue on this losing streak. And then you blame the whole entire, why this thing keep, I got to figure this out. You blame the whole entire season losing streak on Thomas Brown. That's exactly what they're going to do here in Carolina, man. And it's aggravating, man. I think we'll be all right. Tepper starting to feel a little pressure. Hey, he should have been felt that pressure. Oh, man, Detroit game was close until the fumbles and Poppy, I don't know, man. I mean, it was close, but I mean, godly, man. It was close, I guess. It was close. All right, so real quick. So I'm going to play these clips real quick, and I'm going to just take y'all down memory lane real quick, all right? Just so y'all can see kind of what I'm talking about, how Frank starting to backtrack now on his first initial teams that he made right before we played Houston. Here's the first one.
A lot about the details of what you need to start to zero in on to move you from where you are to where you want to be, particularly in the play calling area. You added the play card on Bryce's arm and things like that, but one of the things that they haven't had a chance to do is in a live situation with Thomas calling the plays. How much work have you done this week to emphasize that for you guys?
There's no doubt from a live situation of Thomas calling the plays that he's ready. We did get the work in preseason. Really all year long in practice, he and I have been alternating calling the plays in, anticipating this day was going to come, as I said earlier, probably at the bye. So Thomas is ready, locked in and ready to go and excited.
A lot about the details of what you need to start to.
Locked in, ready to go. Excited. Locked in, ready to go, excited. We knew this day was going to come, right? All right. We knew this day was going to come. Hey, the day came. The day came. We beat Houston, remember? Yeah, I know it was a distant memory, but we beat Houston. And this was the speech right here. Let's throw that up there.
And this one mean, hey, they all mean a lot. This one means a lot to me. Woo! Woo! Yeah. We knew he was going to be a beast when he got here. And when the game was on the line, he called the perfect series, right? Thomas Brown.
Woo! Woo! And I'm not hating on. I'm not doing that. I hate when people backtrack on stuff. All right. I hate when people backtrack on stuff, especially something like this, right? You told this man that he was going to take over play calling, and he did. But you didn't say it was with conditions, right? You didn't say that. You didn't say, Thomas Brown, as soon as you start losing games, there's a possibility that I'm going to take it back from you. Yeah, you didn't say that. You said that man was going to be the play caller going forward. Now, all of a sudden when things aren't going well, your job may be on the line, possibly. Now we want to go ahead and we want to backtrack, Frank. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think that is premature. I think that is extremely premature to take the reins back away from Thomas Brown. Bryce Young has already started to develop a synergy, a way of doing things with Thomas Brown. And now that things are, we lost against, and check this out. I understand. We lost against Chicago. All the talk this whole season about Chicago fleecing us and all this other stuff, and Bears podcasters, talking to Panthers podcast says, and we're going back and forth, and ultimately we the ones that wet the bed in that game. So I get it. David Tepper was at the game. He was tight. I get it. I understand completely. But for you, 2 weeks ago, to say that you felt like Thomas Brown was fully ready for this situation to this right here, nah, bruh. Nah, let's check this out.
Clear, does that mean Thomas will continue to call the offense?
No, I have not totally, dialed that in. Pretty much what, as I've said, we've been collaborative in much of what we do. I'm still evaluating the whole thing, and so, and how it actually is going to function or not. But
is there a chance you might be more collaborative than you have been the last few weeks?
I'm really just thinking the whole thing through. First of all, however we've done the play calling, who's ever been doing the play calling, we haven't performed as an offense. So let me just make that point clear, first of all. As I look towards, now the last half of the season, what's the best dynamic and why? Any decision that's ultimately made is just going to be based on that one pure factor. So that's how we'll approach it.
No, Frank. No. That's not what you said 2 weeks ago. That's not what you said 2 weeks ago. That's not what you said a week ago. You said that Thomas Brown was fully capable. Now there's a lot of stuttering. There's a lot of backtracking. There's a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of we'll see. And it's the week of Dallas. All right? It's the week that we're supposed to play Dallas. And you're unsure right now who's going to be the play caller. To me, that sounds like someone is trying to save their job. That's what it sounds like. And like I said, kudos to him. I mean, hey, at some point you got to save yourself, You got to save yourself, man. I mean, at some point, you can't do that. I mean, you can't keep your arm out there getting sliced by a blade. You can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that. Thomas Brown is the only winning offensive coordinator right now here at Carolina. When Frank Reich did it, we went 0-6. So it makes no sense at all for Frank Reich to now have this epiphany. And think about this. You had from Thursday night all the way until today, Monday, press conference was like at what, 3 o'clock today? You still have no idea who's going to play, who's going to call the plays. The offensive install for a team that's dynamic, like a Dallas Cowboys team. You don't know right now who's going to call the plays. Who's installing? So what happened? So I guess we're going to find that out tomorrow because Wednesday is the first week of practice. I guess we'll find out tomorrow who's going to call plays. We got the first week of practice for Dallas on tomorrow. They should have been practicing today, to be honest with you. They should have came in, take a day off, Saturday, figure out, what they did wrong, Sunday, start walkthroughs. Man, listen, them boys, hey, listen, we suck right now. We are trash right now. Somebody should have been working overtime. David Tepper should have been in there with a white piece of paper and a pen doing routes, concepts. Somebody. But we got to figure this out, man. Hey, we got to figure this out, man. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yo, what's going on, man? Jaquan, what's up, yo? Hanging in there, man. Trying to figure out what my Panthers doing, man. Rough times. Yeah, it's tough this year for real, yo. It really is. Yeah, man. Man, listen. I think Davey Tepper done ripped into old boy, man. I'm be honest with you. He just seemed real out of it. It seemed really, really like it's the smallest thing, like a fly could have probably landed on a piece of paper in the next room, he would have got mad. Like he seems like he's that mad right now about stuff. So I think Frank's a good play caller. That's all he is. The roster doesn't have the proper personnel to run spread offense. Well, yeah, I agree with you to a certain extent. I mean, we've seen some of those plays being done. It's just to the magnitude of how they're being done. Like I said in my earlier video and yesterday's video, you have to get Bryce open in the open passing lanes for him to make these completions that they want to do. You can't line them up right behind, your offensive line, because your offensive line is trash. They're softer than paper. So you got to get them to a place where he can roll out like Drew Brees. He can roll out, go to the side, left or the right, throw the ball down the field. But you cannot line Bryce up behind Throckmorton, Bozeman, Icky, Moten. They're not doing the job right now. They're just not doing it, okay? We've seen it week in, week out. We've seen it in the Houston game. The first drive, the first play when we got the ball back, Bryce almost got sacked in the end zone. And here go Icky, oh, man, I'm sorry, man, helping him up. No, you need to protect. So I get what you're saying. Trust me, I do, Carl. I get what you're saying, but, it's aggravating, kid, to be honest with you. I want to announce who to play call either. We need to. That's an advantage? Shoot. I mean, look at the product that we put on the field when Thomas Brown even was the play caller. I mean, and let's be honest, wins and losses is the way that we judge stuff. We judge everything in the NFL based on wins and losses. So right now, Frank Reich is 0-6 as a play caller. That's not good. So why would I feel comfortable with you doing the play calling again? And we have the Dallas Cowboys coming in this week. Nah, Marcos, what's up, y'all? What's going on with you, man? Yep. We don't have an O-line that's good at pass blocking. They are built for the run. Hey, your head coach said today that they're not looking to, man, y'all need to go watch that press conference, man. I guarantee you it's going to have you looking like, what is Frank talking about? He said he doesn't want to be a power downhill, team, running down your face team. No, that's not what we want to be. Y'all, go watch the press conference. I'm telling you, it's going to throw you for a loop. It's going to throw you for a freaking loop, yo. It's going to throw you for a loop, kid. Oh, my gosh. Supernova, what's up, man? How bad do you think Dallas is going to beat us on Sunday? Hey, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Hey, if we're playing the way we've been playing, hey, they might put 70 on us, man. They might put up 70 on us, kid. I'm going to be honest with you. That's how bad it may be looking on Sunday. They might put up 70. Yeah, it's looking that bad. If we come out, we play the way we've been playing, and we don't do the things I talked about in my video this morning or my video yesterday, we come out with that same dumb stuff, oh, yeah, it's on and popping. Yeah, it's on and popping. Be honest with you, man. Reich is lost. Hey, it sure did seem like that today, man. Marcus, what you say? I was scratching my head. Hey, yo, son, me too. I was like, yo, what is dude talking about? Like, everything that he said was counter of what we and it makes sense. They want to make Bryce the premier. They want to make Bryce the Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Last drive of the game, put the ball in Russell Wilson's hands. He throws a slant, wins the game. It's the Russell Wilson Super Bowl. But the thing is, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. It was an interception because you should have gave the ball to the running back. But Frank doesn't want us to be a power running team. Go figure. Go figure. Guys, please, if y'all want to hear some comedy, please go watch today's press conference. Watch it with a nice, cool glass of, I don't know, Kool-Aid. And just sit back and relax, man, because it's gonna throw you for a loop. I can't trust Scott Fitterer getting free agents and draft picks. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Illmatic, what's up, yo? What's going on, man? Good to see you, boss. Good to see you, man. Fire run game is what our O-line excels at. Exactly. Especially last year with Wilkes. Why switch to offense? Because they want to go to, listen, when you're a billionaire, right? When you're a billionaire and you're making billions of dollars to, quote unquote, make decisions and have an opinion about stuff and tell people what to do, which is what David Tepper does. When you say you want an offensive-minded head coach, that's what you want, regardless to what works, what's working, what's not working. He wants an offensive-minded head coach, and he wants to see the ball thrown down the field a gazillion times, whether it's working or not. So that run game, that's the only reason why Frank would say we don't want to be a power run game, because why? That's going to make Steve Wilks' whole situation look a lot worse than what it is. We don't want to hire Steve Wilks because all he want to do is run the ball, but that's what worked. But we don't want to be a power run team, but that's what worked. We want to throw the ball down the field. That's not working. Well, we don't want to change. We see. We see. Carl, the Cowboys will have non-consensual sex. Yo, son, what? Hey, yo. Because the R word, yo. It's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad, kid. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be bad. Yeah, man. Ben Johnson runs quite a bit of the power, doesn't he? That offense is successful. Hello. And they got the tight end I wanted. I want us to get Sam Laporta so bad. We got stuck with Ian Thomas and Tommy Tremble. Oh yeah, real quick. Let's go to this real quick. Just some not breaking news, but just news. So let's remove myself. All right. So the Carolina Panthers have told us today that they release Matthias Farley and tight end Jordan Matthews because J.C. Horn and Ian Thomas are coming back. So they opened up roster spaces for them today. All right. So are they going to play this week? I can only assume that they are because they opened up roster spaces for them. So, we'll see how that's going to go. Should J.C. Horn play this season? Heck no. Why? No. First of all, and I'm saying this for multiple reasons. Here's why J.C. Horn shouldn't play this season, the rest of the season. We're already doing good on defense. Like, bro, no. Like, there's no chance of a playoff pitcher at all. Like, chill. Stack your paper. Come back fully healthy next year. Hopefully, you can last the whole season and, possibly be an impact when we have a better team. But no, I don't think J.C. Horn should come back. Ian Thomas coming back is like just having another blocker on the offense because he doesn't catch anything. So, yeah, I don't know why you bring in all these players just to release them. It's blocking. Should get better with Ian back. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. I mean, that's the only thing that he's really good for is his blocking. Harry Jackson going to lock up. Hey, listen, let me tell you, man. Dante's been doing really, really good, to be honest with you. The past 2 games, the Indianapolis game, the Texans game, the past 3 games, actually. Like, Dante Jackson has been doing his thing, man. You can't ask the defense to stop a team 9 drives without the offense putting up some type of points. I mean, come on. We can't ask that. I mean, and they did fairly well, all the way up to the 4th quarter. But that was 9 drives, guys. 9 drives. You ask your defense to go out there 9 drives and stop a team where you cannot, on offense, reciprocate what they're putting out. Our defense, I'm going to just say this, our defense is top-notch. Like, we have a very, very good defense. Even Ivero Ijaro, however you pronounce his name, is a heck of a coach, man. I'm going to be honest with you. He really is, man. He's been doing this thing. Last year with Denver, and, until Denver came to Denver came to Charlotte, and Steve Wilks beat them. Hey, man, gosh, man, that's aggravating every time I think about it, man. We could have had a really, really good team. Because make no mistake about it, Steve Wilks probably would have not traded up or would have considered trading up to get Bryce or anybody, possibly. But he had a foundation. Steve Wilkes had a foundation. He would have brought back Deontay Foreman. That would have been a given. If we would have had the cheapest backfield in the whole NFL that was productive. Him, Deontay Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, Raheem Blackshear. Man, listen. We would have been running. Hey, have you ever seen that video of Marshawn Lynch running down his face, running down his face, running down his face, over and over and over and over? like, yo, that's the type of joint we would have been on. That's what we would have been on this year, man. If we would have had Deontay Foreman still on his team, we would have just been running the ball down people's faces and daring them to stop us. Yeah, good old fashioned run down your throat. Pause. Carl, what you say? They had to cancel the March on Mint legal issues, planning to reschedule. Yeah, man. In which I think was a good idea. I'm not gonna lie to you. I put a video up about the March on Mint. I think that was a good idea. You know, those guys with PNP. There was actually a game, something going on at the stadium that day on Sunday, and for safety concerns, they decided to, you know, postpone it to another day. But I think that shows the organization, upper management, David Tepper himself, Scott Fitterer, Frank Reich, that the fan base is not happy. You lied to us, Camp Confidentials. You lied to us. You know, the blueprint. You know, training camp was a lie because you guys said Bryce Young looks amazing. He's winning these reps. What reps? What were they doing? What were they doing, yo? Like, I want to know. Like, what were they doing? What kind of reps was it? I want to see the reps. I want to see the footage from there. I want to see it, man. Sure, I'm glad they didn't make the trade for D-Jack. Yeah, D-Jack he's been on point. He needs to be head coach. Yeah, hey, Ivero needs to be head coach for real. To be honest with you. Yes, he makes the D good. Pause. I'm sorry, yo. Regardless of the roster, Schumacher of good coaching. Facts. That's facts, man. Over and over and over and over. Yeah, hey, listen. When y'all get a chance, go watch that Marshawn Lynch joint. I think he's having a podcast with I can't remember the guy's name, but I think it's a dude that is like in, you know, some type of beef with Brandon Marshall right now. But he was just like, it's hard for someone to stop you when you run it over and 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 over, and you just run it through his head. He's running through his face. Yo, that's hard to deal with. Hey, Marshall, what's up, yo? I love the days of running the ball. Hey, man. Hey, listen. I was at that game when we played the Detroit Lions. I was there. I had my babies out there. We was getting ready to go to Tampa the next day. And I said, you know what? Do y'all want to go to the game? They said, yeah, we want to go to the games. I bought tickets, 500 seats. We was up there. We was in the sun. We was facing the sun. So our backs was to uptown. We was looking towards the sun. It was so cold out there, yo. But to watch Chuba Hubbard, Raheem Blackshear, Deontay Foreman run up and down that field for 30-plus yards at a time, oh, my goodness. You talking about electric? It was so crazy. I went to the concession stand. They got a touchdown. Stripped the ball, got another touchdown. I said, yo, what the freak is going on? And it's like, it's 20 degrees outside. Like, you would have thought that they would have been like dealing with, like, you know, just how hard it is to play when it's that cold outside or whatever, man. But that game was amazing. I ain't gonna lie to you. The game was dope. Your boy Sling Blade. What pisses me off with the offense is that they didn't draft any players similar to the foundation that we used to. Hello, no, and that's what I said. When you got a billionaire owner that wants to do things his way, he wants an offensive-minded head coach. He wanted an offensive-minded team. Running the ball ain't offensive in their minds, which is so stupid. We just seen Josh Jacobs for the Raiders. Tote that joint yesterday. Tote that joint yesterday. Who they play yesterday? It was the Raiders versus who was it? I can't remember now. But they toted that joint yesterday, man. Like, runs back to back. It was crazy, yo. Yeah, it was crazy, man. Tepper also said Bryce Young going to win multiple championships. Hey, listen, to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. I can see it because I showed you guys plays that Bryce, especially that Miami game. That Miami game, we saw how good Bryce Young can be. So it's not far-fetched that he can, possibly win championships. It's just we got to get the right coaching, man. The right coaching, the right coaching, the right players, right scheme, right concepts, right offensive install. All that stuff is important. Yeah, man. It was cold, Illmatic. Marcos, what's up, man? It was so cold that day, y'all. Like, it was dumb cold. And I call myself trying to be smart. I said I'm gonna park my car at the 485, joint down there off of in Pineville. Park my car at the train station. We're gonna ride the train in. Man, I should have parked my car at Whole Foods, paid $45 instead of waiting on that train to come back, yo. It was dumb cold, and it seemed like it took that train 45 minutes to come. When I got to the platform, it was nobody there. All of a sudden, people started coming. It got real thick. It got windy all of a sudden, yo. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, my babies were cold, yo. I said, I'm sorry, yo. Daddy missed. Daddy dropped the ball. Yo, but let's see what you say, Carl. When you have a QB that excels in time passing, you have to have pure route runners. That's a fact. I don't know why this front office seems to not value, because David Tepper, being smart, says that, well, you don't need number one wide receivers or big time wide receivers because Bryce is a point guard. We can here's the kicker. We can save money. Yeah. We can save money. Bryce Young ain't Cam Newton. Cam Newton had let's run off his wide receivers. Kelvin Benjamin. He had Devin Funches. He had Corey Philly Brown. Curtis Samuel. Jericho Cotry. Who else? DJ Moore, but that wasn't the whatchamacallit year. Trying to think. Who else did we have? Am I missing somebody? Oh, Greg Olsen, of course. I think that's kind of like the core of who Ted Ginn. Sorry, Ted Ginn. Yeah, Ginn. And Greg Olsen. Mm-hmm. Yo, Andrew, what's up, man? 2 offensive touchdowns the past 16 quarters. Hey, but Andrew, okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you, Andrew. I don't like the fact that Thomas Brown is being quote unquote blamed or around about being blamed for the losing streak that we've had. I mean, we've had, just look at the ticker right here. I mean, the ticker says it all. Frank Reich is 0-6 as a play caller. Thomas Brown is 1-2. So we're ready to take the play calling away from him after a 1-2 start. He's the only he has our only win. He has our only win. And I think it's, Frank used the word malpractice back when we was looking for a quarterback. He said we malpractice if we don't look at all options available. I think it's malpractice to switch up after 3 games. And one of those games was a win. A win where you said, woo, woo. You was happy. You was hyped. You was lit. You was on fire because you said that this guy was ready for it. Now when the rubber meets the road and tough conversations start to get had or are happening, now he's not ready. Hey, man, links in the chat. Y'all pull up on me. Let's talk. Regardless of popular narrative, we had a top 6 O-line in 2015. Yep, same in 2003 Super Bowl run. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, I know. And I mean, and even last year, we played to the we played to the strength of what we had. We're not doing that. We're not playing to the strength of what we had. That's not what we're doing or what we have. We're better off we're better off running, establishing the run to set up the pass because we don't have good offensive linemen. We just don't. Our defense is stellar. Our defense is ridiculous. Frankie Louvu, D-Jack, all them boys. I mean, the defense has almost put up as many points. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but I mean, they've done better than what the offense has been doing, has been producing. And it's evident. It shows. So for me personally, I don't feel like it's smart to pull. I don't feel like it's smart to pull Thomas Brown off a play call, or even hint at, or even make an inclination of it. Like, what? Are you serious? For my up north people, is you dumb? Is you dumb? Yo, what are you talking about? Yeah. Let's see. Can't pass without the run. Hello. But Frank Wright don't want to be a downhill running, team, man. So, we'll see, man. Of course, who's this? Poppy Dangerfield. What's up, Poppy? What's up, Poppy? How you doing, boss?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. What's your thoughts, yo?
Man, I think Frank, he's trying to do the best he can without getting fired on the spot. It seems like he wants to tell everything. But what they're doing with Brown don't make any sense. If you gave him the reins, let him keep it.
Right.
Like, what's the secret? We don't have no competitive advantage. We're losing.
That's a fact.
Cowboys know what we're going to do like we know what we're going to do on Sunday. It don't matter who's calling the plays.
It don't matter, right?
Just go ahead and say Thomas got it. I think he's just trying to save Thomas's job.
You think so?
I think they all got thrown into a dumpster fire. I think they all got blindsided once they signed that contract. And then Tepper was like, this is the real plan. Because everybody looks like they don't want to be there now.
It looks like that, doesn't it? It looks like everybody wants to get up out of town, man. Yeah, it looks like everybody want to get up out of town. And from what I've heard from inside the building, I got an inside scope on what's going on from a source that is very, very incognito. But there's been a little bit of yelling going on.
Hey, you know what? If Tepper, think about this. If he would have signed Wilkes, and let's say we went 1-8 like we are right now, then we'd be like, oh man, this is crazy. We suck. But it's like they sold us Peyton Manning, but we got Eli.
Well, okay, which Eli?
You remember it took Eli forever to, adapt to the league. He put up okay stats, but when they went on them Super Bowl runs, he was focused.
Yeah.
But when Eli first came in, you remember everybody thought he was going to be Peyton. And then it came in and he had that learning curve. That's what we got going on with Bryce right now. And then we hire an offensive coordinator that never called plays in the professional football league.
Yeah.
Marcos, on top of a coach.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Poppy.
I said on top of a coach that doesn't really want to give up the reins of calling plays.
Yeah.
And then we got an owner that's, crazy.
Well, I mean, and it goes back to this point right here. You have a billionaire owner who doesn't want to be wrong, even though he's been wrong since day one. His first wrong point was firing Ron Rivera. And now we're at this juncture right now where you had something going that was a well-oiled machine. And you totally dismantled it because in your mind, you're the only one that's right. Yeah, you're the only one that's right. Go ahead, boss man.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna read Marcos' comment. He said, "What yelling? Elaborate more." I can't. I can't elaborate more. Just know I have a source that's inside the Carolina Panthers facility that heard some stuff. So I'll just leave it at that.
When they made Jerry Richardson sell the team, I felt like it was going to be a shift in the team, but I did not think it was going to be like this.
Man, who did? Who did? I mean, coming from the Cam Newton days, man, where we we knew that we was going to be at least a 9, 10, maybe 11 win team. It was a possibility. You know what I mean? To go now to this where we're barely scratching 5, that's hard, man. I mean, we may be worse than the Matt Rule years of, winning 6 games. That's very
We're not even
possible.
scratching 5, man. We can't even get 2.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man. And like I said, if they do what I'm saying, and I mean, someone at the organization has to be at least smart enough to see that lining Bryce up behind center and just asking him to throw out of the shotgun, without any type of motion, isn't winning us no games. We're not getting the type of separation that we need. We're not creating dirt. Like, we don't have that type of players to do that. We just don't. We don't have those type of players.
You think Tepper's sitting in the preparation meetings? Like, if we just line up Bryce right here, he could sling it over here. You don't want to put Adam Thielen there. You want to have over here, put DJ Chalk right here. He should be wide open. You think he's putting his input in like that?
Yeah, hey, you want Adam Thielen to come from the sideline, run back to the water boy, get a sip of water, then come back before the snap. Yeah, stupid idiot.
Come on, guys. I got the Amazon, what is it, the Amazon system. See, you got all these players just sitting down on the bench. They need to be standing up the whole time.
They need to be standing up with one leg pointing east.
Yeah, to make sure they get on the field. We got Optima, it's analytics. Something crazy got to be going on.
Something stupid, man. Yeah, he done read something back from Vince Lombardi.
Hey, you know what this reminds me of?
What up?
When Tepper took over, it was like when Chip Kelly went to the Eagles. He was going to reinvent the NFL. Like, Tepper thought he was going to reinvent the NFL and the ownership and the team. That's what I think happened.
Yeah. Andrew, what's up, man?
How we doing, D?
Andrew, what's up, man?
Yes, sir. How you doing, my friend?
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I wasn't. I was the point I was trying to make was at some point we got to get past the play calling thing. Okay, the play calling is not what's hurting this team. We are unable to execute as an offense. Period. Okay. You can't run Bryce behind center because he only took 5 snaps behind center in his college career. He can't get back in the pocket fast enough. He's too slow. And it's glaring to watch. I mean, as far as the offense, they're not executing. It's the same thing. Every game, think about it. Even Houston. We start moving the ball and then we throw it out of bounds and then punt. Go back and look at the line as far as our possessions. Punt, field goal, punt. It's crazy. There's no execution at all in that offense right now. And that comes because we're not getting good quarterback play. No other way to put it.
You're right.
But okay, so Andrew,
the quarterback moves the football team. D. So quarterback Andrew, is what moves the football team. Yeah.
Right. You're right. So let me ask you this question. So I don't know if you saw the video I put up yesterday or the one I did this morning, like that showed us from that Miami game, how we ran out of the play action. I believe it may have been out of the gun or the pistol, one of the two. I'm not too.
I saw parts of it. Yeah, I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah. So when we moved the pocket, even against the Chicago Bears game, when we moved the pocket and we got that long 44-yard pass down to that new practice squad dude that we put off the practice squad, we did that with not Bryce being just stuck behind the center. They moved the line over. And even in the Miami game, like when you saw the motioning and all the stuff that was going on pre-snap and even the chips that were happening after the play evolved, if you looked at that Miami game, when the linebackers, they stacked the box. It was 4 on the line, 2 in the middle. They was getting ready to run towards Bryce and they had to back off because we had one person swinging out this way, which ultimately allowed Tommy Tremble to run out of the backfield to the side where he jumped over that defender. All I'm saying is it is I understand that we're saying it's not the play calling, it's Bryce. But if we know that our O-line ain't trash, I mean, that ain't nothing. They're nothing. They're trash. We can't allow him to just sit back there like a duck and not do anything, which we've been doing. We're not rolling the pocket out for him. We're not doing any play action. We're not doing no pre-snap motion. We're not doing any of that stuff. We're just saying line up 5 wide, throw the ball to the open dig route or the open out route. And it's covered. We're not doing anything else to deceive them. So that's what I mean by play type or play concepts or schemes.
Right, but you're making my point. Mm-hmm. Who's done that for the last 3 games? Who's calling that offense? That's my point. Okay,
I get it.
I'm not saying because I like Thomas Brown. I followed him when he was out here in Los Angeles with the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think they made a good choice in picking Thomas Brown. I'm just saying Thomas Brown might be calling the right plays. We're just not executing them. It's that simple.
That's a possibility too. But okay. Let me ask you: Is it a possibility that we're not executing because we don't have the right personnel to do it?
That's possible too. It's not clicking. You can watch it. It's like watching the same movie over and over for a week straight. We're seeing the same thing week after week after week.
Yeah, we are.
And then we see Bryce throw one ball and a nice ball, and we all go, "Hey, yeah, there it is." You know.
Hey, Andrew, I'm raising my hand. I'm one.
Yeah. Hey, think about how long it took us to see that.
I did the same thing, but then we get right back to where we were. I'm not absolving the coaches. I think they're responsible. In fact, I think Frank Reich's made more mistakes as far as decision making more than play calling. When he went for that 59-yard field goal to tie that game, we're 1-7. Why aren't we trying to win that fucking game? Why aren't we going for it on 4th down?
Right.
What are you afraid you're going to get another loss?
Yeah.
You know, those are the kind of bonehead calls I don't like. But as far as running
the press conference today that he said he made a mistake doing that. He said, I'm okay with telling you guys that because I'm transparent. I'm like, what? Who did you lie to?
You lied to Bryce.
Yeah. Yeah, he's made decisions like that I don't agree with. But as far as play calling, I watch what happens with the plays that are called. My theory is if you can't run the plays that are called, what the hell thinks it's going to make a difference when we run the ones we're not calling?
Hey, you know how they said that, they've been working together all year for the game plan? Who did the game plan for the Seahawks then?
Don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Because, they're trying to protect whatever. For him to say that he's trying to be transparent, he's not being transparent at all because you could say, like, hey, I'm calling plays or Thomas Brown. He just needs to let Thomas Brown do his thing. Let him make his mistakes. Let him.
I agree with you. I agree. He gave it over to Thomas Brown. That doesn't mean you're on a trial run. He gave it to him.
Right.
Exactly. You own it now. Stick with it.
Yeah.
Okay?
There was no terms and conditions on if you don't do this way, I'm gonna take it back. No, you say you're gonna get this man to play.
That's what I'm telling you, Demetrius. I'm wondering how much say he has at all in this team. I'm wondering if they're even letting Frank Reich make any decisions because there's too much involved with Tepper, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's having a meeting every fucking Monday. What's he telling him after this third game that Thomas Brown did? He probably say, Frank, I think we probably need to go back to you calling the plays.
Yeah, with no winning record.
That's the kind of crap that I think is coming from Tepper, man.
I'm pretty sure it is, man. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. He's got his hands in there too much.
I think Tepper is calling coaches meetings on Monday before their meetings.
Oh yeah. Those Monday meetings that he have with everybody.
He's having a meet with them every Monday.
Yeah, that's too much, man.
He has it only with Frank Reich.
Yeah, that's horrible. Like you can't, man. He need to step away if he wants to see this team succeed. He needs to just step away. And
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys remember when Frank Reich came out in that press conference and said that he has to go to these meetings every Monday with Tepper, and he goes, "Believe me, they're not any fun."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know that was a laughing stock in the NFL. You watch all the talking heads on TV; they were talking about that.
Like
they were talking about what has to go and answer to the owner after every fucking game.
After every game, yo, what?
Yeah.
It's almost like Tepper gets a breakdown of the game and then goes over it and then calls Frank and then tells Frank what he needs to do. And
Hey,
then
he has the
Frank,
NFL app like us, and he be going clicking replays and looking at the formations. Like,
honestly, I
this
feel
isn't
like
what we
after
talked
the
He
about,
doesn't have a
Frank.
clue.
I felt like after the draft, Frank's whole demeanor and the staff's demeanor changed.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So,
Without
so that's
shadow
why
of
I
doubt.
feel like they got blindsided.
Of
Like they
course.
all knew, like what
Big
Andrew
time.
said. Andrew said on like they all went out there to see CJ, and then Tepper had dinner with Bryce,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden he turned into the pick because, like what Andrew said, it don't make no sense. They went to the combine. Bryce didn't even throw, and
Exactly.
CJ threw.
Yeah,
Like they
they
knew.
took the whole organization down
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're completely right about that. And then that's when, like, I put it like this. I watch college football. I like Bryce. When we selected him, I was like, all right, cool. But what he's doing right now is like, it's bad. It is horrible. And for us to try to fix it, it's like, it'll be easier to get rid of him than it is to try to fix it around him, because no matter what, as long as he's here, this organization ain't going to get ran the way it needs to get ran to put a good product on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it this, Demetrius, you're the one that said this. I remember watching you, or it was either on Unk's channel or on yours. It was all about the play calling. Everyone was complaining. And then Seattle came around. And what happened? The play calling looked pretty damn good in Seattle, didn't it?
Look real
Okay.
good.
So it's the team is not executing with Bryce Young. He's not moving the ball down the field. He's had one or two good drives. Okay. He had that one good drive against Houston where we kicked a field goal to win. And he had another good drive. Well, over the course of 8 games, 2 drives isn't going to do it.
That's true. That's true. That's right.
You know, we
Yeah.
need better play from the offense altogether. You can't put it all on Bryce because we've had no running game. The tight ends have gone off. What the hell happened with the tight end play? You've had a couple of good catches by Tommy Trimble.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost
And you
like
had
this
one
offense went
getting
away
open,
from
Adam
Hayden
Thielen.
Hurst.
So it's all
Yeah.
yeah. It's not all on Bryce. That's not what I'm saying. But the quarterback will make or break a team. Look at what CJ Stroud's doing with the nobodies on the Houston Texans.
Yeah, him
Noah
and Tank
Brown?
Dell, boy, man, good God. Yeah, Noah Brown. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, they're doing it up.
Hey, the guy had 170 yards Sunday in receiving. He's
Against
what
the
he had 40
Bengals.
catches was his best NFL year.
Yeah, I think he's already at
So
that,
what
right?
I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if Bryce's play improves, the rest of the team, the offense will improve.
Right.
But it has to start with our quarterback.
Okay.
You know, it has to start there. He has to start completing downfield passes.
Hey,
And that'll open up the run game.
do you feel like, because you know when we're watching the games, there's time where Bryce is getting into a rhythm, and then we'll just have like a critical drop, and then we can see his confidence get shot. Do you feel like if those drops wasn't happening, his play would be significantly better?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help to have, but listen, drop pass. I watched the Tampa Bay game yesterday, and Mike Evans dropped. He was wide open in the end zone, and you know I got to give Mike Evans credit. In the press conference, he said the reason he dropped it was because he was thinking which fan to hand the ball to before he caught it. So he lost concentration. Okay, that happens. NFL receivers drop balls; they all do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he can't let that affect him. He has to go out and just throw another dot. That's what it boils down to. But his confidence is shook right now. You guys, you can see it.
Because it seems like
You can see it in his face, man. He looks so uncertain. Yeah, I think, I just think they. I think they put him out there before he was ready, and I've said that all along.
Yeah, Carl Van says Panthers fans depress me. Unbelievable how many people took a rookie. Unbelievable how many people think a rookie is supposed to supposed to succeed in these circumstances. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's some pretty substantial circumstances.
What
facing
was
this.
Houston's record last year, D?
Man, I know it was like 2 and something or 1
2
and
and
something.
15.
Yeah.
What kind of circumstances did C.J. Stroud fall into?
Well, I mean, the difference between the Panthers and the Houston Texans, the Houston Texans has a pretty decent offensive line. I will say that. They give C.J. Stroud a little bit more time to go down the field. Plus, he got a little bit better, in my opinion, he has a little bit better receivers than we do.
I don't think their line is better.
Well, I'll say this.
Well, I think no.
I'll say
C.J.
this.
Stroud's been sacked.
His line has
more
allowed
than
him
almost any other
his line has
quarterback.
allowed him to scramble out
C.J.
and get some
Stroud
pretty good plays, man.
No, what I'm saying is that the defense can't. They run a different. They have to respect that he can throw the ball down the field. That's why he has. It seems like he has a lot more time than Bryce. Right now, they don't think Bryce can sling it down the field, so that's why Bryce is always under pressure. Until he can prove it consistently, CJ already done proved that he can throw the ball down the field. That's why it seems like he has more time. They can't blitz him how they would blitz Bryce.
So when you say down the field, you mean like
A rookie,
50,
a
60,
rookie can win in this
60
league.
yards down.
Let me give you an
the field?
example.
You mean like 50, 60 yards down the field, like that type of slinging?
No, if you just look at if somebody's open down the field, CJ's gonna see it and hit it. Bryce looks like he can't see anybody down the field right now unless he's kind of out of the pocket.
That's
what I'm saying.
I agree with that, and I mean, to be honest with you, I agree with that because that's the only time that we've seen these deep passes. Everything else has been up under 20 yards. The deep passes has came when he's rolled out, and that's why I'm saying
defense every week.
If you're gonna do that, just roll them out. If you want to throw them deep passes, you know what I mean.
Let me ask you something, D.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to say to you, let's say 6 weeks ago,
right.
I were to say to you, Bryce Young is going to go into Chicago and play an undrafted quarterback and lose, and CJ Stroud is going to go into Cincinnati and play against Joe Burrow and win. And what would you told me?
Yeah, I'd have told you were smoking that good stuff.
You would have told me, yeah. So rookies can win, okay? Rookies can win.
Right.
But the point I'm trying to make is I'm not blaming it all on Bryce. What I'm saying is it's not working, man, and I wonder if they're doing them more harm than good than just leaving him out there to be the sacrificial lamb week after week after week.
Yeah.
When they signed Andy and said they were going to draft Bryce, I really thought they were going to let him sit for a year. I felt like that was the best option because all offseason, how we prepared for the season is showing now. Whatever they had planned, they thought was going to succeed because they wasn't doing no contact. And then in the preseason, we got pushed around, and then in the regular season, we're getting pushed around now. So this offseason, how they prepared for this season is what we're seeing. And then now that they're actually live hitting, these players, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, fellas, I'm not too sure what's going on, but StreamYard is doing that thing it was doing earlier. We'll keep talking, but my whole entire system is frozen again. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but you guys are still here. We're still live. It's just everything is frozen on my end. So if the live does cut out, just know I didn't cut it out on you guys on purpose. Okay. But we can continue to keep talking. I can't look at any comments on StreamYard. I can look at them on my actual phone.
Man,
but
Dimitri, I better put this Jack Daniels down because until you told me that, I never even noticed it.
Well, it just happened. I don't know what's going on. I can still read your guys' comments from off of YouTube, but I just can't. Nothing's clickable at all.
But I do agree with you, though, D. I do agree with you. Once Frank Reich gave those plays over to Thomas Brown, he needs to stick to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's all. Just stick to it.
You know, it's like you said. He's the only one to manage to get a victory.
Yeah. Yeah. So why would you take that away from him? And like I said,
that's what makes me wonder if he wasn't told to do it.
Well,
I don't know. That's the uncertainty you have when you have an owner like Tepper who sticks his nose into everything.
Right. Yeah.
You don't know you don't know who the hell's
you don't know who's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know who's talking. You don't know who's saying what.
It started with the TMJ thing.
Yes.
He didn't play, and Frank Reich got up there and said, "Oh, I forgot." You know damn well he didn't forget. He was told not to play him.
Then the next week you say he can go ahead and seek for trades. That's why when he caught that ball against the Vikings, he just threw it to the side. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
My screen went completely out. Okay. Y'all can still hear me though, right?
What we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up firing Frank Reich at the end of the year. I kind of hope he resigns because if we fire him, we'll be lucky to get a junior college special teams coach in here for a head coach next year. Because no reputable NFL coach is going to come and play and coach Carolina when Tepper is getting ready after 1 year. It ain't going to happen.
Nah, it's not going to happen, man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let me ask you a question. Do you think Steve Wilkes will want to come back?
Not for Tepper. He won't. Not unless Tepper changes his ways.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit probably done sailed, man. I don't think
I think Steve Wilkes. Yeah. Steve Wilkes will get another opportunity to be a head coach, but I don't think it'll be with Carolina because I don't think he would come back and play for an owner who's going to cram his own agenda down his throat as far as who's out on that field. That decision belongs to the coaches and the general manager and the scouting staff.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's mind-boggling, man, just how many, changes are happening each week with Carolina. And, we can all of the fans and content creators can all point to who it's coming from. Yet, Frank is trying to save face, trying to save, Mr. Tepper. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, that man name is David, man. Just say David. Just say David. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, bump all that, man. He got you sound like a little schoolboy out here, man.
Mm-hmm. So
this
has been until he gets his hands out of it. I don't think there's any hope myself.
It's over. It's over. It's over, man. Yeah. The Carolina Panthers are not going to win any games if David Tepper has his hand. I mean, he's almost as worse as.
Well, if he's the one selecting the draft picks, let's put it that way. If David Tepper is saying, "I'm going to make the ultimate decision on who we draft," we're never going to get better. He doesn't know damn thing about football.
He doesn't know. Yeah, because if he did, he would have stayed in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He would have stayed up there with the Rooneys. He would have stayed up there. But they told, hey, look here. You don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And all the Panther Nation knows who this coaching staff wanted to draft at that combine. We all know. We all know. Mm-hmm. And you know who knows it better than anybody? Frank Reich. Have you seen how wide his hair is?
Yeah. Hey, you noticed that, right?
Yeah. Well, why is that? Why is that? Because he's frustrated. He's standing down there on that sideline, and he goes in at halftime, and he sees the stats from the Houston game, and he probably just fucking wants to die when he sees that.
That drive from C.J. Stroud on Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals, that last drive, where I think it was like a minute and like 9 seconds left, bro.
Yeah.
That's top tier.
Well, the thing is, the week before, he did the same thing against Tampa Bay with 46 seconds left.
Same thing, man. Same thing, man.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, man. I don't see, I like Howard. Howard is normally on Unk's joint. Howard said, just believe your eyes. Believe the eye test. Believe what you see. What you see is right. And what we saw was a C.J. Stroud who performed at the combine, who threw the ball effortlessly. We saw him in many bowl games. Hey, the one against Georgia, we saw that. Ohio State versus Georgia, we saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go and pick up Bryce Young, who didn't perform at the combine, didn't weigh in, didn't have the best pro day, in my opinion. I think Will Levis was better than his, if I want to be completely honest.
Mhm.
But we go with the one that has the less amount of forthcoming. If they have even the word being forthcoming with us, we don't know how much this dude weighs. You say 204, 209 is really 190, 195 or whatever. It's just a lot of smoke and mirrors when it came down to Bryce, man, and his, his combine and pro day and all that stuff like that. It was just too much. We should have stuck with CJ Stroud. But of course, everybody ran with the S2 scores. Everybody ran with the horrible, his father's in prison and he has
Exactly.
a single mother,
Yeah,
a single parent
exactly.
home. Just stupid, man.
Mhm. And I told you guys I don't know if I told you, but we talked about this when all this shit was going on, and I kept saying, they did that shit to Dan Marino. They did the same thing, and I forget who it was. It was a very popular agent told his player, whatever, whatever you hear between when his college career was over, he said, whatever you hear between now and the draft, don't pay any fucking attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how they do it. They'll take someone down just like that. And
Yeah.
if the truth be known, all that shit probably got started in Houston in their media.
Yeah, it's good because they wanted CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want Bryce. Yeah, they didn't want Bryce. Hey, I think Carl is talking to you, Andrew. He said that caller is a human fallacy machine. He said, I can't wait. He said, I can't wait till Bryce Young starts cooking. My receipts are on deck. I don't think he agree with you too much, Andrew.
Well, that's okay. If he's gonna cook, he better find a hotter oven because the one he's cooking on ain't doing shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, like I said, I understand, and I'm not taking anything away from Bryce, like the blame. I believe Bryce Young does deserve some of this blame, but I believe that you have. I mean, listen, we talked about this quote unquote all-star coaching staff that we assembled. Dom Capers, Sean Jefferson, all these different people that came or whatever, and to see the product that plus 60 years combined has given us, I can't put the blame all on Bryce because all these boys have had
Well, I
multiple
just said that.
quarterbacks. Yeah, no,
Same thing.
yeah. I'm saying for Carl, to his point, why, he's saying that pretty much we're blaming Bryce, but I'm saying I'm not giving Bryce all the blame. I'm giving his coaching staff the blame too, but Bryce does deserve the blame too because Bryce holds the ball too long as well. In that Chicago game, you had a wide open Adam Thielen to the right that was just sitting there for like 2-3 seconds with defenders that were going back up the field and they started coming back towards him. That could have been a first down right there, but you held the ball too long because you're looking down the field for a deep pass that's not there. It just ain't there.
Yeah.
No, but I agree with you. I agree with you on some of those points, though, Andrew. I wish that they'll start to look at some of these different schemes and start rolling. If they roll Bryce out the pocket and start to do some of those things, man, and put a crosser in there, start doing some pre-snap motion. I know it's a lot. It's a lot to try to install, but heck, you had 10 days. These players get paid. We just seen freaking what's the dude's name that came from Arizona and went over to the Vikings, the quarterback. Yeah, we just seen Dobbs adopt a whole new system. Then the players adopt a whole new system and executed it. Come on. And didn't he win yesterday again?
He did.
Yeah.
We got 10 days to install something. Change something up that we've been doing that hasn't been working. We can do it. But of course,
he's a smart guy. He's got a degree in aeronautics. He's not. It won't take him long to learn the playbook.
Man, football is football. X's and O's, man. Put your foot in the dirt, drive the man down the field. I mean, come on. I ain't thought I need an airplane license to be a wide receiver.
Yeah.
The freak.
Yeah, I mean, it's these guys that just try to find every excuse written by man to explain why Bryce isn't performing.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know who they are.
Oh yeah.
First it was a play call, and then it was no separation. Then it was no offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, it gets a little old after a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like Howard said, you know, what are your eyes telling
Yeah. What are
you?
your eyes telling you? What are your eyes telling you?
Hmm?
Yeah. Bryce just isn't, he's not executing, and the coaching staff ain't helping him out. And, you know, this running game needs to improve. You know, it got to improve this week because
God, that
that
Not
defense
going
we're
to
going to
improve.
face. That defense we're going to face Sunday. Oh wow.
The
man, that
run game's
defense so
not going to
crazy,
improve
man.
at all
I know, man. I know it ain't Poppy. I know it ain't.
because there's no threat to throw it down the field. So until that's established, like they're always going to load the box. Like we already know what we're going to see Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stay positive and say, hey, we're going to win every Sunday. But I already know. I already know what I'm about to see.
Sleeve Bryce, right?
Yeah, I already know what I'm about to see, man. Like
Hey,
I
he
said,
need to put 2 sleeves on this week, man.
hey, he had 2 sleeves on last week in Chicago, and it didn't help. Hey, but you want to know what? What you were talking about earlier, what I sent you on Twitter is exactly what you were talking about. That
Mm-hmm.
first play for the Chicago Bears,
Yeah, that scream to
that
DJ Moore.
when they opened up like that, that let me know that they were going to try to protect their rookie quarterback.
Absolutely.
It was a lot of misdirection on that first play to give the defense something to look at.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and that was their game. The Las Vegas game that they played, the Chargers game, and the New Orleans game. Of course, that Vegas game, that was the first time that Tyson Bagent has played in the NFL. So of course they was going to do that. But that was their game plan for the past 3 weeks. So nothing was going to change. I just hated that we didn't execute the first time that they tried to do a screenplay when we knew it was coming. Like
I knew DJ was going to touch it or Foreman was going to touch it. Towards the end of the game, it looked like nobody wanted to tackle Foreman no more.
Nah, it's 30 degrees up there. It's windy. It's cold. Nah, it wouldn't tackle that.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, it felt good to see Foreman running hard, but I was just like, man, it sucked that it was against us.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I enjoyed the game. Yo, did y'all see the Ravens lose to the Browns?
I did.
That's your team, right? The
game.
Browns, your team, right?
Yeah, I follow the Browns. That was a good game.
That was a good game, man.
That Arizona game was good too.
They played Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Who won that game? I haven't seen that game.
Arizona. Man, look, prime example of an elite trait. Kyler Murray is the same height as Bryce Young, but he was outrunning that defense coming off that ACL. And he was throwing the ball down the field. It looked crazy because for me to be a Carolina, I live in Arizona, but for me to be a Carolina Panthers fan, I'm seeing a 5'10" guy. I'm watching Arizona play, watching a 5'10" guy, and I'm like, I could have told you he wasn't gonna be nothing like this.
Yeah, but Kyle is
when you watch the two of them
than Bryce, right?
Probably. When you watch the two of them, you can see the difference, can't you?
Oh,
the size.
Oh yeah.
Although they're the same height, Connor Murray's built like a tank.
His acceleration is crazy.
And man, when he took off on that scramble, that's what won him that football game.
Yeah. He was, man, his acceleration
that's what won him that football game.
And that deep throw he did, he threw that 50-50 ball, and that tight end McBride came back and got it. Yeah. And I was like, damn, man. I said, this is what it's like when you got a quarterback that can sling it all over the field.
Yeah, he can run. Well, when Bryce did that second pick six, Bryce was chasing the guy. Looks like he was carrying a piano on his back, trying to get down the field.
I ain't gonna lie, Bryce.
That's the difference. Kyler Murray is I guess the way I'm gonna put it is Kyler Murray's more athletic.
Yes,
much more athletic.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all go ahead and talk, fellas. I'm gonna be right back. Y'all go ahead, Phil. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep going.
You 100% right. He is way more athletic, and you can see it.
Yeah.
And that eye test you're talking about, you're like, oh, he can. All right, I can see why you drafted him at 5'10" because he can do everything.
Well, he won what was it, first or second year he was in the Pro Bowl. Quarterback. Yeah. He's got a strong arm too.
Man, what's crazy is like when you're watching him, it honestly looks like he's having fun out there.
Oh yeah.
and he can do everything. And you can tell that there are a couple. Well, I watch a lot of Arizona football, but there are a couple pieces. Their record don't show like that team is decent. If you sleep on them, they beat the Cowboys. If you
I
sleep on
remember
them,
that game. Yeah, they're a lot
yeah,
better than people give them credit for.
I feel like they did Dobbs a service though by sending them to a playoff or a
Oh
team that's
yeah.
looking to go to the playoffs.
Well, Cleveland had him too. Cleveland let him go. That's how he ended up going to Arizona.
Yeah, I heard you when you were
Cleveland
on.
had him as their number 2.
Yeah, when you said the Cleveland Browns were your team on, I started paying attention to them too. So when you be hitting them talking points, I'm like, yeah, he dead on. Like I see that too, because it's the foot, it's the NFL. It's too much football because it's too much football out here to consume for you to be bored with just your team. You can look at other teams and see
Well,
what
yeah.
free agents is
Well,
coming up.
I'm Poppy. I'm 68 years old. Okay, I've followed football all my life. Okay,
Oh yeah,
I've always had an NFC and an AFC team. My NFC team used to be the Rams because I live out here in California. I kind of quit up on them when they moved to St. Louis.
Oh, okay, yeah. You
And
old football.
yeah,
Okay, I got you.
yeah, yeah. And then when Cam came in, I started watching the Panthers and kind of hooked on with them. But the Browns, I've been following the Browns since I was in high school. I mean, back in 1973. That's how long I've been watching the Browns. 50 freaking years. I suffered through all that shit. They've never been to a Super Bowl. They've got, yeah.
I was gonna say they got championships, but they don't
Yeah.
have Super Bowl championships.
Well, they actually do and they don't. The city has them, but the original Browns moved to Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
They're the Ravens. Okay. Then they became Cleveland got, started a team again and called themselves, the Browns. But yeah, Carolina's a young team in the National Football League. And to be to 2 Super Bowls is quite a feat.
Oh yeah.
Considering they've only been in the league maybe 25, 30 years. Yeah. So you just got to be patient. They'll turn it around, and I don't know if Bryce is a guy. I'm not giving up on him. I'm just saying from what we're seeing out there, he's just not ready.
Yeah, honestly, they picked him. We need to cheer for him, but we know he's not performing. If he's not the guy, we're gonna have to wait until they get another quarterback anyway. So I feel like he could try to turn it around.
Coming out this year.
Oh yeah. A lot of quarterbacks coming out in the draft this year.
Mm-hmm. A lot of good ones too. I mean, you got there's a ton of them coming out. So, we're picking we got the first pick in the second round. And being as old as Andy Dalton is, it probably wouldn't be a bad thing to pick up a quarterback.
No, I could see that, but I see if they're going to get a quarterback, it's going to have to be if we got like a 6th and 7th round pick, because you don't want to get somebody that early if Bryce's confidence is already shot, and then you get a guy in the 2nd round, and then he has that added pressure, and then he just turns into a bust.
Right.
But if we did get a quarterback in the 2nd round,
I'm not saying
who has your eye?
I'm hoping Bryce wins it alone. Listen, we watch him in college. We know what he can do, but it's got to translate in the NFL. How many quarterbacks, Poppy, have you seen that came into the NFL and were listed as can't misses and never translated?
Trubisky. I told everybody I knew about him because I'm a big UNC football fan.
The same thing with Tim Tebow.
Yep.
Okay. Johnny Manziel, Josh Rosen. There's a ton of them.
I was really hoping for Johnny Manziel, though. I was like, oh, man, I said, if this guy could do something in the NFL, the NFL is going to be entertaining. But NFL is a job. People forget it's a job. You got to go there every day.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question real quick. What do y'all think about Brian Daboll over here with the Giants? You think that if he doesn't have a good season this year, that they're going to let him go?
I think it's possible. Last year everybody was just raving about him.
Mm-hmm.
It takes more than 1 year to evaluate a coach. That's what I'm saying. It takes more than 1 year, you know.
Yeah, we're
The,
really
the,
we're
quarter,
literally
the
seeing like
quarterback
the
play
tale of
makes the
two
coach,
halves.
Steve.
Say
You
what
know
now?
that. I said the quarterback play is what makes the coach.
Right.
Bill Belichick's a perfect example. What the hell's he done? since he left Tom
Perfect
Brady?
example. It's a perfect example.
Hey, seeing the
Mhm.
Patriots fall like this is funny, but it's
It
also
really is.
sad.
It
But it's
really
sad though
is.
because we saw something like in history of like, hey, this team was so dominant and everybody was so scared of this team. Like now
It
look at the Empire, it's gone.
it would have felt better if Tom Brady was still on this team, but if they would have been losing like that. But yeah, to see Bill Belichick going down like he's going down, like that's crazy. They only put up 6 points in 2 games in one of those series of games that they had. Like that's
Hey,
unheard of.
you know what? If they fire Scott, I say get Bill or get another GM. Like if we have a losing record this year, well, we're going to have a losing record. Don't fire none of the coaches. Get rid of the GM, and then give Frank and Co another year. And then if it sucks, then you start trimming off the fat. Because at that point, you're going to have a first round pick for another coach to come in there.
When okay, so next year we only have 6 picks, right? Second,
Yes.
third, is it 2/4 and a fifth?
I think you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, Poppy, the question you asked me earlier, I believe you asked me earlier, should we go ahead and go offensive line and wow and
Oh, the
running
second
back?
round?
Yeah,
Yeah,
second
the second
round.
round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I kind of looked at, what was going to possibly be available. Possibly, it's still far, far away. But just kind of looking at some things, I think we may do good, with an offensive line pickup in the second round. I think we might.
Yeah, there's a lot of linemen coming out.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
And there's so many quarterbacks that's going to be going and wide receivers. I think that somebody good is going to slip down to the second round for us to get. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
because
know who
like
that's going
them,
to be.
like what Andrew said with the Dan Marino, they come out with these crazy stories and all that. Whoever falls, like, you know what? Get them.
Yeah, that Dan Marino story you told us, man, was crazy, Andrew. That's
It's
wild.
true. Yeah.
That's wild, man.
I ain't
Look
gonna
it
lie.
up on the internet.
I called my
I
dad and asked him
remember
about
when
it.
that happened. You know, he's a young guy in college. He was going out partying and stuff. Well, they turned that into he was a drug addict.
Wow.
Man, he fell. Nobody drafted him. He kept falling and falling and falling, and then it turned out that the team that started the rumor ended up drafting him, I think, later down the road because nobody would get him, and it was like a strategy to get him to fall to him anyway and still be able to use their number 1 pick on someone else.
God dang, so
Hey, I got a
smart.
question for the both of y'all.
What's up?
Because we all know what the Texans did. They traded up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we would have drafted C.J. Stroud, do you feel like they would have drafted Bryce at number 2 and still picked up Will Anderson, or they would have got Will Anderson and then used their later first round pick to get something else?
I think because of how much hype Bryce has around him, especially the last month of the draft process, they probably would have taken Bryce. I think they would have taken Bryce.
What about you, Andrew?
I missed the question.
I said if Carolina would have took CJ at number 1, do you feel like the Texans would have still made the same moves they made where they traded up to get Will Anderson and CJ Stroud? Or do you feel like they'd have got Will Anderson and then just waited to their later pick to get somebody else?
That's hard to say, but I don't think they would have drafted Bryce Young.
Yeah, I was thinking they were going to get Will Anderson because I think they had a later first round pick.
Yeah,
and they would have picked up. They'd have got a quarterback then. So I'm wondering now how much he would have failed, but we're never going to know that.
But I see the only reason why I say I think they would have is because DeMeco Ryan, with him being a first year head coach, he probably would have had so much backlash if he didn't get Bryce, and they probably would have been calling for his job like immediately. You know what I mean? So I mean that's That's my thoughts. I think that he probably would have, with the pressure of not getting a quarterback when they need a quarterback. Like they had who was it? Davis Mills.
David Mills, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who?
They could have rolled that. They could have rolled that out another year though.
I mean, they could have, but I mean, the Texans would have been pissed off. All these fans would have been
Oh
pissed
yeah,
off.
that'd have been like us right now.
Yeah, exactly. If they wouldn't have made the move to get Bryce and say they just pass up on a quarterback altogether, oh man, Houston would have tore D'Amico Ryan up, saying, "Oh, he's a dumb head coach," and man, God forbid they start losing games. Man, we had Bryce Young right there. We could have got Bryce Young, you know. So yeah, I think they would have with the pressure. I think they would have.
Yeah.
Let's see what Carl said. You're not going to be able to hear me. Is the problem? Man, Carl. Hey, Carl want to talk to you bad, Andrew.
Yeah. Hey, let me make a point with Carl.
Go ahead.
I've been reading Carl's.
Okay, go ahead.
He says to me, well, how can you evaluate a coach? He says, what do you mean you can't evaluate a coach on 1 year? I'll bet you Carl's a Steve Wilkes fan, right? Well, let me ask you something, Carl. If you're a Steve Wilkes fan, what the hell are you doing hiring him? He was 3-14 as a head coach.
God dang.
Oh, tell
He was
him where
3-14 with the Cardinals. You wouldn't have given him a
Yeah.
chance? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, with the Cardinals.
Oh, I know about that.
So what you're trying to say is, oh no, you need to evaluate him his first year. Well, then Steve Wilkes would have never been another head coach, or he shouldn't be a head coach.
That's a fact, Andrew. I mean, that's a fact right there.
Yeah, but see, they don't think about that shit. If it feels good, do it. That's what they want. They want this microwave success to take a team that has won 12 or 13 games over the last 3 years and come in and draft a 5'10" quarterback and they're going to go to the Super Bowl. No, it ain't going to happen. It takes a while. That's the whole team you got to build, not just the one player.
Carl said that's not what I said. He said that that's your problem. Comprehension. Read my comment. Ooh wee.
I read your comments. You asked how long is it? You asked about Brian Daboll.
Right,
that's what we were talking about when he chimed in. You're talking about Brian Daboll. So maybe you need to go back and read your comments.
Andrew going there. Carl, y'all both going there. Hey,
Yeah.
Maybe we need to set up a little thing, man, where y'all two can spar.
Hey, Andrew getting some frustration out from the day. He was like,
he don't want to call in. He don't want to call in, and it's not hard to figure out why.
Yeah.
You see the link? Click on it.
He said he at work, Andrew. He said he in the factory is real loud.
Oh, he's at work. Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
God dang, Andrew.
He's at work, and he's about as productive at work as Frank Reich is coaching. And if he's sitting there tweeting all day.
Hey, I mean, that is true, Carl. I mean, Andrew, he said you're drinking. I mean, that is true. You said you was drinking earlier.
Yeah, I am.
Oh man. Oh man, yeah, man. But I feel I ain't gonna lie. I think Brian Daboll will do good here in Carolina.
Why?
I think he's
he
came from that.
He's been around.
Yeah, man. He came from the Bills. Bills were successful. That's the year that they lost. I want to say that was the conference championship game. I think that was. Then last year he went to the Giants. Did pretty good with the Giants. I don't know. I just like him. I don't know why, man. I think he's a pretty good coach, man. Just watching some of the games from last year, how they got demolished by
I like him
Eagles.
too,
but I think he's a very, very detailed coach, man.
In my opinion. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You go ahead. You go ahead.
I don't see how they. This is just my opinion. I think they were crazy for signing Daniel Jones for all that money.
Yep.
Yeah. The real Steve-O. We gonna bring that one up too. I'm gonna bring him up too. Yeah. But nah, Daniel Jones got paid way too much money to have done nothing. What was his contract?
Too much.
I don't
Hey,
know,
but
but he
you
got over
said
30 million. I think he got like 34 million a year or something like that. It was a huge contract.
4 years, 160 million, 36
130,
million.
140
Yeah, man. He's guaranteed $92 million.
money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, kid. Hey, what about the Texas A&M coach just got fired and he's about to get all that paper, yo? Did y'all see that?
yeah.
Yo, that dude.
Yeah, I saw it.
Him and Matt Rule are like the GOATs.
No, you want to hear a crazier rumor?
What's that?
There's a rumor talking about Coach Prime going to Texas A&M. I was like, they crazy. He ain't going nowhere.
I don't think he can go anywhere. I think his contract is at least for 2 or 3 years.
He's got it set where he's at.
Yeah, he's not going nowhere, but that's a rumor.
He'd be crazy. He'd be crazy to leave Colorado, man.
Yeah, that's a crazy rumor.
Wild. He's the king over there. They love him.
Yeah, man. I mean, even though they lost 4 straight, I think it's 4 straight they lost. I think what Coach Prime needs to have is just a stronger O-line. I think once he gets it sound like Carolina, right? I think once he gets a better O-line, man, some bigger boys, I think he's going to be a problem. And he told him, he said, get me right now. Get me this year. Like, this is the time to get me. Because if you wait till next year, you might be short. I believe it. I believe.
Because, I'm like an offensive lineman guy and defensive linebacker guy. Yeah, they are very small up front. They hold up pretty well. But as the game goes on, their line starts looking like the Carolina Panthers line with a quarterback that's hanging on to the ball to take sacks to keep his percentage high.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. Shador. So let me ask y'all this: if Shador was going into the NFL draft,
no.
Oh, why, man? Why not? Why?
Dog. So you mean to tell me you be watching him and you be saying, "Wow, like this is crazy"?
Hey, that first game I did.
Good? No, listen. Is he good? Yes. But you do not want to end up back in the same situation we're in now. I would rather for him to go to a good team and he sits and they let him develop versus him going to a horrible team and he'll have the same expectations that we have with Bryce.
I can dig that. So let me ask you this: if you throw Shador on the Carolina Panthers' current team right now, do we have success?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
What a 6'4", 6'5" quarterback?
Dude, it's obviously the college and the NFL is different.
Yeah.
Look, we like to use CJ Stroud versus Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Does Shador look like CJ Stroud versus Georgia?
At JSU, yeah.
At Colorado, has he looked like that?
Let me answer the way I want to answer it, Poppy.
That's the blue. Like right now, every quarterback that's coming out that we're looking at, we have to use CJ Stroud's tape versus Georgia. Is their tape better than that? Because we see what that is right now. Yeah, so any quarterbacks might think Carolina need to get, you need to say, hey, did he play better than CJ versus Georgia? If the answer is no, we do not need to draft him.
He looked good. He looked good against Grambling.
I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I like him. He makes good. He does what he's supposed to do. I feel like he should go in the league.
But it's good PR. I'm gonna tell you that it's good PR, man. Yeah, I mean, shoot, it's good attention to any organization like how Cam Newton was. But yeah, the play on the field may suffer because you're right. He got to come in something that's already popping. It got to be like a takeover, like who was that quarterback that was before Tom Brady? I can't remember his name.
Drew Bledsoe?
Yeah. Did he? Was the Patriots bad at that point? They wasn't bad, were they?
No, they weren't bad.
Yeah,
They were decent when they even had Doug Flutie. They weren't bad.
yeah.
I
He
put it
needs to
like
come into
this:
something like that.
didn't Drew Bledsoe take the Patriots to the Super Bowl and got tore out the frame?
Man, I wasn't even. I
I
probably
don't
still
remember.
you.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even know. Did he? I need to look that up.
I know that Drew Bledsoe was not no scrub. I know that for sure. I know that he played really well, and the fact that he got injured is why Tom Brady went in, and that changed history. Something like that is what Shador needs to go into,
Yeah, he
where
needs to
the
come
team
in
is
and be the
already
savior.
good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So Drew Bledsoe Patriots ended a 7-year postseason drought. Went to the playoffs 4 times, clinched the division twice, and made a Super Bowl. He made
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. Yeah,
That's pretty successful. Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
Mhm.
I'm not as old as you, Drew, but I watch a lot of football.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you do.
that's why I can see everybody's points. I'm like, hey, man, I love it. I mean, I love football, man. Because
You know, I
I'm
forgot.
retired right now, so that's all I do is just watch football all day and look at film, watch college players. That's all I do.
Word. Yeah, I ain't retired. I got to go to Pennsylvania on Thursday. I'm dreading it. I hope it don't snow.
Man, hopefully
Ain't
not,
all
man.
over the
Hopefully it's a
place,
smooth
B.
ride for you, man.
Man, I'm all over the place, man. I was at the beach last week with a group. Tomorrow I got to pick up some people here in Charlotte, take them around the city. Then I'm off on Wednesday. Then Thursday I take Johnson and Wales soccer team up to Pennsylvania for a tournament. Hopefully they win and we stay to Monday. If not, we leave out on Sunday night. So we'll see.
All I want Carolina to do is give me that feeling I had when I'm from North Carolina and when I went all the way to Hawaii and I wore my Cam Newton jersey and I saw
Mm-hmm.
somebody else wearing a Cam Newton jersey and I was like, oh my God, we so far away.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the bar, watched the game. I want that feeling again with the team. Like I
Wait,
want that.
which game was it?
No, this was in 2013. I can't remember the exact details of the game.
Oh,
But
okay.
I know me and him was sitting there and we was drinking top shelf Long Island's, and it was, dude.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I was on a cruise. This is 2015. I know 2014, I believe, or 2015, one of the two. This is the year that we played the Patriots. That magnificent, scramble that Cam did, where he like jumped out of the way of like 4 or 5 defenders and jumped for the first down. I was on a cruise watching that game, and it was a bunch of Patriots fans. Like the whole casino was nothing but Patriots fans. I was the only Panther fan. And that last play where Tom Brady threw the ball into the end zone and it looked like it could have been it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that was pass interference. I ain't gonna lie to you. It looked like it was. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all remember that game?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really
I
remember
think,
the game, but
I
I am
remember
gonna look
that.
it up right after.
Okay, it's the game. I think it was a Monday night game. I think it was either Monday or Thursday night game. And Cam Newton, man, I'm trying to remember. So he called a play and the pressure came to him. He backed up, ran to this side, juked out of like 3 defenders, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that play right there. So I watched that game on the Carnival Cruise when I was out there. I think we was out on the water heading to some Puerto Rico or whatever. It was
yeah,
nothing
because
but
they show
Patriots
how many
fans.
yards he ran that
Right,
play. Yeah, I know
right.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Man, that last play where Tom Brady threw the ball to the end zone and they threw the flag, yo, I was so hot. Like I punched I punched my glass, in the casino and it broke. Like my glass while I was drinking, I punched it because I
Oh
thought
my
we got to
God.
pass interference. I was like, yo, we always do this dumb stuff. And then when that dude said, there's no flag on the play, game is over, man, I ran to my room. Got up out of there, man. Yeah, man. Just memories. Good memories of the good times, man, with the Carolina Panthers. Good memories, man.
Dude, the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl we went,
Yeah.
I was me and my pops, we were moving my grandma from New York. So like the U-Haul mirror on the passenger side that I was sitting on kept turning in. So
Mm-hmm.
it's snowing, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm rolling down the window. Like, I remember that game because I remember I was freezing my behind off, dude.
Uh-huh.
And we rode all the way from Queens, New York, all the way down to Pinehurst, North Carolina, man.
North Carolina, the country.
Yeah,
Gosh.
dude. Like, and then when the game was over, because when we were going through the states, we were trying to find it on the radio. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that's like one of the best memories I got.
Oh,
I was just
yeah.
like, man, it was like I was experiencing the game because it was like every time something critical was going to happen, the U-Haul mirror would turn in. I had to roll the window down, the manual roll down. You know what I'm saying? Not
Oh,
the power
yeah.
joint, the manual. I'm rolling it down, and then I'm
Yeah.
push it out, roll it up.
Little elbow grease. I feel
Oh
you.
yeah, dude. Man, Jake DeLone, man,
Jake
that
Del
dude was a
homie.
beast.
Yeah, until he got drunk playing against the Arizona Cardinals before that game. That game pissed me off. I think that was like 2008, 2009. He got drunk the night before and couldn't complete a pass. Oh my gosh, I was livid. I was so pissed, man. I was at work. I done told everybody, I betted $1,000 on that game, man.
Oh my god.
I bet $1,000, man. And I was like, man, that's why I was so glad when Cam finally beat them in 2015. He jumped over old boy head, man, and just kind of like just dismantled them boys. Oh man, I was so happy because I lost $1,000 in that first meet. I was so pissed, y'all. Yeah.
Hey, you know how on the how online they'll have the snippet of the 2015 season, like all the highlights, the best highlights and stuff. When I watch that, man, I still get hyped. I'm like, dude, I was like,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
never gonna see nothing like that for a while.
Nah. Hey, you know what? We should have known that year was gonna be crazy. That first game against Houston, when Cam Newton flipped over that defender. We should have known it was gonna be a crazy season, man.
Nah, you remember we thought the season was gonna be bad because Cam got in that accident, and then when he came back, because we thought the season was over with, we thought he was gonna be out, and then we ended up like ride. Oh my god, that ride was so awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sweating right now thinking about that, man.
Hey, Carl said that's why I don't bet on this team.
No, I don't bet. I don't like when it comes to Carolina. If I bet someone, I say, hey, I'll get you a Fanatic gift card or something. Like I'm not giving you. You get you, or I'll buy you some merch. Like I don't do the cash thing. I was like, I'll buy you a sweater if they lose or whatever your favorite team. Like, because I've seen too many people start betting money and they don't know how to handle it.
Nah, they don't know how to handle it, kid. Yeah, hey, I'm about to take Prize Picks off my phone because shoot, I lost every time I do the over with Mike Evans, I always lose. Every time. It don't matter if I pair him with somebody. Every time I pick Mike Evans, I always lose that portion of it, man. And sure enough, I could have had $1,200 on yesterday, man. God, dog. Aggravating. Well, fellas, Monday Night Football's getting ready to start. I got to be to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to catch a little bit of that, and I'm going to sleep. But, man, it was great. Carl wants to Andrew, Carl wants to do something midweek with you, man. So I mean, Carl, I'm gonna drop a video every single week, every single day, man. Thursday I'll probably do one once I get up to Pittsburgh. But we'll do one Thursday, probably just one. Tomorrow we'll probably just do one as well. But we'll do one, and if Andrew's available, y'all can definitely rap it. Y'all can rap. That's cool.
Yeah. Hey D, you know how to find me, man.
Yeah, facts, man. Facts. Well, all right, fellas. It was good, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all have a good night, man.
Hey, you too. Y'all be careful out there.
Yes, sir.
You
yes,
too,
sir.
man. You see you, Poppy.
All right, see you, man.